Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Alright, we don't have that much stuff to do today, but I just want to talk to you a little bit, because I feel like I've been going through some breakthroughs in my practice, and that's pretty exciting. This Reststroke session is brought to you by Aerial Guitar. He has a video on his channel that I'll link in the description, and he's going over a Pepe Ramiro masterclass on Reststroke. And a lot of the stuff that Aerial talked about I've been finding very, very helpful for my playing. Even in just a few short days, I've noticed, like, clicks are going up in my Reststroke. So that's exciting, that's pretty cool. But again, if you want real in-depth explanations, I'm not gonna go as far as he is. I'm just gonna kind of show you what I'm figuring out so far. And then, I have the entire Rodrigo Sonata Giacosa first movement memorized, but man, the last half of it is just not as good as the first half, and I don't like playing it because it's gonna get me demonetized for this video. So how about this? I'm just gonna play it once and then show you the highlights, just so you can see the general progress, and then when I have everything kind of at the same level, then I'll play it, get demonetized. It's fine. I don't need to make money every single time, but man, do I want to. And of course, even when they're all at the same level, Sonata Giacosa, it's not going to be like perfect or anything like that. But I don't want to have to slow down for the ending and stuff. Like, I at least want to fumble through it all at an equal level. Yeah, and I'll probably show you some Reststroke progress and all that. How's your Reststroke coming along? Hopefully it's good. Let's go ahead and jump into it. My Reststroke practice, pretty much up until a couple days ago, has been mainly focused on bursts and focused on short little scales. So I'm always taking a break or like slowing down pretty regularly when I practice. Now, of course, that kind of practice is good. It's done me well up until this point, but Aerial Guitar, he talked a lot about endurance practicing and basically, like, in his words, like playing a scale at a speed for as long as you possibly can, even in extreme cases like hours, but probably like 5 to 10 minutes or so, with like very limited breaks, I would imagine. And I've never really practiced like that, and of course I found long scales to be difficult to play, but I've been doing that, and man, it really does build up your endurance, and it makes you more used to playing for greater lengths of time, and it kind of just has been making my Reststroke more reliable. Another thing that he talked about is, and this is Pepe Ramiro trying to explain the Reststroke to a student, but the tremolo motion, because of course when you play tremolo, it's not the same as like plucking a free stroke scale slowly, where it's individual motions. It's one movement. And I haven't been practicing my tremolo very much, but I think I'm going to practice it now, just to get used to that movement. Because he talked about applying that to even just a 2-finger Reststroke, and I've been trying to find that. And I think it's working, because my Reststroke seem to be improving like pretty quickly. Probably in the last 2 or 3 days, I've practiced Reststroke like 3 hours a day, along with Rasguados. That's what a lot of my technique practice looks like now. And that tremolo feeling even comes in Rasguados too. Because I'm not seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like I am when I play it slow, but when it's fast, it's kind of just 1 or maybe 2 movements, like A is leading, A is leading. And I've even been practicing tremolo just on 1 string, trying to get that impulse. And I've never been very good at doing this, and it's always been a little weird, like how do you even practice something like that? And something that he suggested in the video was, instead of just always slow practicing, because obviously you're not going to get the tremolo feeling, you should try just going for it at a speed that isn't going to work and it's going to be a disaster. But just do it for a while and see if you can sort of subconsciously fix things, and then observe what is changing in your hand, because you will fix it over time. So I was just doing that. Like at first it was just all like just ringing out, but then eventually it just kind of cleans up, and it did. Like, it kind of cleans up. And now it's pretty good. I've only been working on that for a few days, and I've never been able to do that. So this idea of practicing faster than you're comfortable and just trying to see if your hand will fix it, I've been using it for Reststrokes, along with endurance practice with Reststrokes, where instead of just playing like 1-octave scales up and down, which is what I used to do, like if I could do that at a speed, I would consider it like, okay, I conquered that speed. But now it's more like, how long can I hold it? And even if it is sloppy throughout the whole thing, just see if you can clean it up over time. And again, I'm going to link his video in the description, because he has a long, like 30+ minute video just really going into this stuff. He's doing really good work over there, so definitely check him out if you haven't. And yeah, I think that pretty much describes the practice that I've been doing with all those different techniques. Trying to find that tremolo fluidity, where it's just one impulse, kind of weird with Reststrokes, right? And then just going for endurance. And you know what? This is actually a good time to just go ahead and show you where my Reststrokes are at. So we're going to start with 100 BPM. And I'm not going to do the normal 1-octave scale up and down, pass, fail, like, oh, I got a good one, that's the one I show. I'm just going to continuously play, and we're going to see, like, what percentage of the scale I'm actually able to have clean, you know? Like, if at 100 BPM 98% of the notes are coming out, then that's like pretty good. Like, of course you want 100% of the notes, but I don't know, can we get 100%? Probably not. It feels pretty good, and it's crazy. I remember like a year ago or whenever I started actually working on Reststrokes for the first time, because I only did free stroke for the longest time. I had to work up to 100, and 100 it was like shaky and like not happening, and now it's like, feels good. All right, 110. Again, I feel like that feels pretty good. Let's go to 120. Now my hand is starting to get a little like fatigued, but I just give it a moment, and then I find when I get back to it, it's like I almost start rushing it, you know? All right, but that's 120. Let's go to 130. 130 was like the goal tempo, and it almost feels like just another day in the office. 130. Like, I remember watching YouTube shorts where people would post like 130, and it's like, dude, that's so fast. Oh my god. It doesn't feel that way anymore though. It's like normal. Like, honestly, so the quality of 130, it's gone down pretty harshly from 120, but it's still not like terrible though. Like I'll have that in a month. 130 is gonna feel like 110 in a month if I keep practicing how I'm practicing. But let's go ahead and move on to 140, and let's see how that feels. Man. 140 is fast though. You literally don't need to play 140 ever. Anyways, let's do 150 just as a joke. I've played 150 before on the show, but it was only one scale and it was out of like 50 attempts. So I'm pretty sure it was just like a fluke of the fingers, just like, whoop, and it just accidentally hit the notes. Playing it like this in length, it really shows you how I actually play 150. So it's gonna suck, just like 140 kind of sucked and 130 sucked a little bit. 150 is gonna suck a lot, but we're just gonna try to clean them up over the months. Oh man, no way. I feel my fingers getting sticky in that. It feels like two impulses versus that one tremolo, and they're getting like stuck together. I can get glimpses of that tremolo feeling. Like I know that feeling in my I am Reststroke, and I felt it. I felt it in there that time. Like, I know that still wasn't very good, but it felt like smooth as I played it. I don't know, you can hear how bad that is, and I'm sure like any faster than that is going to be the same story, but worse. Alright, I'm going to answer some questions now, but before I cool off, I'm just going to go ahead and play the Rodrigo. I'm going to tack it on at the end of this though, so let me get through that, and then we're going to answer a couple of questions. I'm just gonna end it there. I didn't even play the last page of it because it sucks so bad. It would have to be like way slower. I know, like, I'm giving you guys a really excellent opportunity to make fun of me, so just look at it like that. I have been talking a lot of crap recently, so all the Marson fans can listen to that and be like, that sucked. Oh my god, this is the guy? Holy crap. I know, that's the guy. But come back in a month and I think I'm gonna have that like pretty okay. We'll see. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into some comment questions. I mean, they're pretty much dominated by Marson talk right now, but I'll try to sift through it. Oh man, this isn't a question, but this is kind of like a milestone, I think, for my playing. I just want to show you guys this. So this was on, I feel like I keep mentioning this, but I put out a minute and a half of me playing guitar and nothing else, no talking or anything. And like, why did I do that? I don't know. I've been meaning to do it for a while, and I feel like my technique has gone leaps and bounds, especially recently, and I just felt like good enough to do it finally. And the reception on it was really good, and this comment right here kind of represents a lot of the comments that I see nowadays, and it's like, it makes me very happy because it's an improvement from what the comments used to be. Because before, like, especially when I first started this channel, I am just a completely different guitarist now, it feels like. Of course I had the foundation back then, but I knew I had a lot of work to do, and I did a lot of work, like working on the Morel Sonatina for so long, and the fugue and all that. It all kind of led me to where I am now, and I'm very excited about what's coming forward with my guitar playing, because I feel like it just keeps getting better, like, by the month. But this comment right here represents a shift I feel in my playing, and it's a comment on that original piece that I put out. After seeing your pretentious video bashing on Willow Smith and putting words into Rick Beato's mouth for calling her out. Yeah, like, honestly, I feel a little bad about that video. I'll get over it, though. I was curious to see what your original music would be like. Of course, it would lack creativity and be purely technical without anything that makes a song memorable. Textbook music school musician, no soul, no heart, just theory and technicality. You don't understand how much that comment means to me, because before, that comment would have been like, you're not even good at guitar. You should be practicing right now, you moron. Why are you showing us your crappy guitar playing? But now if somebody wants to hate on me, like that person for example, they saw that video and they thought that it would be so ridiculous to call me bad at guitar that instead they call it like no soul, technical, you're a little technician. And it's like, man, I've never been technical like that before. Like, nobody's ever called me technical. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. I've been working on my technique a lot. So yeah, I love to see that, because let's be honest, like, if you don't want to like somebody, you're not going to think that their playing has soul. If you know the person and you're receiving their music with an open mind and open heart, it will have soul. Because obviously, I said this in the Marson video, we're all unique artists, of course, and you know, we all have soul to some degree. And even Marson's saying he has soul in the, like, in the arrangements that he has, that's all just like technical percussion stuff, and I believe him. So, you know, if that has soul, like, surely everyone has soul. But that kind of comment, and I've been seeing them a lot lately, that's a good sign. That means that, like, what I'm doing is working, and I'm very happy with that, so that's cool. Now, based on what you've seen here, you might go like, oh, well, you're not very technical at all. I'm working on a lot of this stuff, okay? This is a practice log, and I've been doing them for 2 years, and I will keep doing them for another 2 years and beyond. And you saw where I was at in, like, the first one 2 years ago. Like, this is real documentation of going from mediocre to hopefully professional classical guitarist, which is a really cool thing to document, I think. I'm really happy with where I'm at. Like, even with my crappy Resstrokes, you saw that. But 120, a huge improvement from what it was. So this is a real question now, and this is actually from an email. Got this one from Vincent, and you said, "Hey Cameron, thank you for addressing me by Cameron. I appreciate that. I've been watching for a while now, and I have to say, you take a lot of stress out of learning guitar. I've been practicing my crappy electric LOL for a few weeks now, and watching your videos to forget about the anger that comes from not being able to perform on the instrument at the level you want to be. I've been making all kinds of music for about 10 years and learning different instruments, piano, ukulele, DAWs, like digital audio workstations. Is that what we're calling an instrument now? Okay, fair enough. Guitar and drums. And I love it all, but many times it feels like trying to learn the songs I want makes me go backwards. Should I be picking easier songs to learn or start slower on them? I'll tell you my trajectory when I was a kid. I started playing guitar when I was 11, and it was electric guitar. I was playing with a pick, and I spent the first couple years learning songs. It was Sweet Child of Mine, Smoke on the Water, you know, all the classics for beginner guitarists. I'm sure you could think of many more, like Purple Haze, and that one might have been a little tough. And I remember the first 2 years or so, I wasn't very good at guitar, and I would tackle songs, and I just really didn't have the technique for them. I do think that my hands were probably good for guitar. Like, I latched onto it pretty easily, and I was always very motivated to practice, so I was able to get the songs to come out, but they were never at the quality that they should have been, you know? And the thing that propelled me from, like, beginner, like, playing for a year, like, maybe late beginner, to, like, being able to play basically any song I wanted was memorizing every position of the G major scale on the fretboard, and I'll throw up a chart of that. And before you guys say it, because I know that we have a lot of advanced guitarists in there too, there are a lot of very measured and calculated ways that you can learn all of this, and I feel like it's pretty hotly debated. Should you start with scales, or should it just all be about, like, arpeggios, depending on what kind of music you want to learn? But these scales, if you just learn how to play them and practice them for a year or two, there's no song you're going to encounter that doesn't involve these scales. And I remember it was sort of an aha moment for me after getting really fluent with these and just playing them for a a year or two. Any solo I wanted to learn, I would just see like, oh, it's like the third scale position that I learned. And of course I have more sophisticated ways of describing that now. Like there are many different names for this guy. You know, like when I was a kid, I used to call that Phrygian because it's the major scale starting on the third. But I didn't even understand what Phrygian was back then. But you can just know it as just 5 scale positions. And you just learn them all, and you'll find that anything you're playing is going to fall in one of those, and you'll just get used to them. It's just recognizing the patterns and seeing that. And again, I can already hear you guys, because there are a lot of like college-educated jazz musicians who would go about it in such different ways. But if you're on your own, the greatest thing you can do for yourself is go ahead and memorize those scales and make those like your favorite song to play. And if you can do that and play through them like consistently, focus on how each note sounds going into the next note, there's not much you won't be able to play. Now obviously there's a lot more to music than just learning how to play scales, but that will give you the technique to learn that other stuff later on. If you ever do want to get a teacher and start getting like really advanced into guitar, that's just going to be an excellent foundation. And I'm saying that from experience. It was my foundation, and I am like, you know, a guitarist. It's my life, and I play how I play. Today might not be the best examples of like my greatest playing, but I can play. I'm pretty decent at the styles that I commit to. Was my foundation, so I recommend that. It's pretty easy to understand. Just learn the scales, don't worry about anything else, practice them, and they will help you out at some point. You'll even need to understand what you're doing because it'll click one day, because I find that it's a lot easier for me to understand something if I can play it, and I can kind of figure it out. I can visualize it a little easier. You know, some people will tell you like, oh, like you can go away from your instrument and just visualize everything and practice that way. You can't do that right now. First, you need this foundation. Like, I can think through those scales now, of course, but I've had a lot of time to recognize those patterns and grow with them. Like, I've literally grown since I was a kid with those patterns in my head. So, you know, if you're not like that yet, like, just learn how to play the shapes. It's like grade school. You're playing with shapes now. And eventually those shapes will become more vivid and they'll have more meaning in your mind. But for now, they're just shapes, so just learn the shapes. Of course, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can email me, and I can see them there. And yeah, I don't know. Anything else? You guys doing all right? How you feeling about the whole Marson thing? It's been pretty interesting. Oh yeah, actually, there's one more comment. This is more like drama now that I want to address, but I just want to say something on this because very few comments bug me, but this is a comment that bugs me, and I'm not even going to pull it up. I'm just going to tell you the gist of it. I think it was a reply to a comment, but somebody was just talking about my rage baiting, and they were saying like, yeah, I guess he's rage baiting now and it completely defeats the original purpose of this channel. And I just want to remind you all, like, go to my videos and click on oldest and scroll down like a couple of swipes, and you'll find pretty much from the very beginning I was always doing absurd, like, trying to rage bait titles. And in fact, just a little sore hands history lesson for you. The first video that put me on the map was Julian Bream destroys aspiring guitarist, and it was with Lynn Gangbar and the Julian Bream Beatle EV 1001 masterclass. And Julian Bream didn't actually destroy her, by the way. I did that because I thought it would be an engaging and funny title, and I think I had like 10, no more than like 17 subscribers at the time, and it was video 30. So I had more videos out than subscribers, and it was that video that got me like 70 subscribers. Like, it went to like 100 after a few days, I'm pretty sure. And you know what? It was actually on or right after Thanksgiving, which is now. So it's kind of the 2-year anniversary of when my channel finally got picked up by the algorithm, and I met a lot of you who might be watching right now. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's changed is that I don't do a practice log before I actually react to something. And my reaction style has always been making fun of the video and trying to crack some jokes. So, you know, when you say like, oh, it's so different from what he used to do, I've literally been doing this the whole time. This is what I do. I find it fun, and that's why it's easy to not give up doing it. Like, since I started this thing, I've been posting this stuff constantly for 2 years straight, and I've even seen other people do similar content to this, and they eventually stop. You know, the reasons why they stop, maybe they just like don't get the traction, or what I imagine is they're just not passionate about it like I am, because for whatever reason, making these videos is just something that tickles my brain, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And I did it for free for the longest time. And even if I stopped making money on this, I would still keep doing it because I like it. I would probably find a way to make money, but you know, my point still stands. It's a hobby. It's one of the hobbies that I have. Now, I never imagined that it would grow to something like this, to where like Diodario can post a Marson interview, and in the comment section, like 60% or more of the comments are Sore Hands references. Insane. Like, I used Diodario, I'm going to say it correctly here since this is a practice log, we're a little more formal. I've been using their products forever, and it's like, man, I never thought that I would see my creation just like spammed in their thing. It warms my heart. It's like, wow, people either really resonate with this or they just really like making fun of me, and maybe this is some joke and everybody's laughing at me and I don't really, and I just don't get it. Either way, I'm just happy to be here. And Marson, watch your step, because I will make another video about you. And that goes for Jacob Collier, that goes for Rick Beato, that even goes for Julian Bream and John Williams. Of course, Julian Bream, he's passed, but John Williams, I'm pretty sure he's still with us. Yeah, he's still kicking, 84 years old. Dude, could you imagine the John Williams Sorehand beef? Alright, we're gonna wrap this up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Rootin's Delight, I said this last time, there's going to be a sale this December. 15% off of the whole store, starting today, starting with this video, until December 31st. Just a whole month, why not? Of course, guitar lessons, I ain't offering them, but I do know people who are. So if you'd like to be the online classical guitar student of a grad student that I know, hit me up and I'll give you their contact info. Of course, pick up some Augustine strings. Augustine is the best in the biz. They're so much better than Diodario. You know what? Diodario, I'm calling them that here. I like these because they're cheap, and I just use the basses because I keep carbon strings on, and I'll switch the carbons out like every 3 packs of these or so. Change my strings every month or less, like 3 weeks maybe, a month at the most. I change them pretty often, maybe even sometimes every 2 weeks, depending on how much I'm playing. Augustine's not my sponsor, but they're going to be soon because I'm not going to stop doing this. You know what, like, sometimes you just gotta fight for what you want. I wasn't public enough about me wanting Diodario as a sponsor. Honestly, I don't even want a sponsor. Like, I don't want to be given money or anything like that, but if Augustine wanted to send me boxes of strings, I would gladly end every episode saying, like, pick up some Augustines, yo. I get them for free. But I've had companies reach out to me. Like, I'll tell you, let me give you a little story time right here. You guys know Donner, the guitar company? Or they're like a music company. They make pedals and stuff too. But they reached out to me a while ago and I was in contact with them. And they were gonna send me a guitar. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'll get a guitar and then I'll just like do a review. And then I saw the guitar and it was their Silent Series guitar, which is exactly like the Tim Henson guitar that I've been making fun of constantly. And I was gonna do it. I kind of had an idea, like maybe I'll finally do the Sean Lane video where he's like shredding, and I'm like, oh, I can't shred like that on a acoustic. I need an electric nylon string so I can shred better. But man, like, it would be kind of embarrassing like trying to hawk some electric nylon string when I just like hate them. So yeah, I kind of ghosted them. I'm not gonna do that. I would hate to do a product placement thing like that. I don't want to do that. But Augustine, if you send me strings, I don't even want money from you. Just send me your products. I know that you sell them on margin too, so it wouldn't even be that expensive. I'll say it every time. Augustine. Get Augustine. They're the best. I don't know. If you guys can help with that, try and make it happen. Maybe like spam them. Say like, Sore Hands wants a sponsor. Do it. You should do it. We will promise to buy a bunch of Augustine strings if you do it. I would be greatly appreciative. And you know what? I'll make a deal to you. If you guys are able to get me the Augustine sponsorship, I will make sure that I carry around a bunch of Augustine strings on me at all times. And if you ever see me out in the wild, I will give you a pack. So there's some incentive for you. There you go. Alright. Also, if you see me in the wild, please don't beat me up or something like that. I would appreciate that. Yeah, I've gotten reached out from a couple other companies too. Like, some like electronic company sending me microphones, but they want these like 5-minute segments where I just drone on and on about their product. And it's like, that sucks, dude. Like, I don't want to do that. That sounds awful. Like, the best is when they just send me products and there's no expectation, because then I can really like dig into it. That's only happened once. That happened with the guitar support, the guitar lift, where I made that video, like, is it worth it? I was doing, like, the jerry rig everything gimmick, where I would, like, scratch it with various knives and stuff, and I did, like, a throat, like, frisbee test. You can go watch the video if you want. I did a whole unboxing of it. I was kind of poking fun of it a little bit, and it was the people behind Tonebase who sent that to me. I have not heard a word from them since that video, so I'm pretty sure they didn't like it. But, you know, it's fine. Alright, I think we can wrap this up here. Of course, comment questions, all that, I'll answer them if you leave them at some point, maybe. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll see you in the next one.